I think we're ready. So let's do it. Gotta make sure everything is right. Everything is good. Here we go.
Are you just trying to navigate adulthood in a world that still expects you to have it all figured out? Welcome to This Is 50 with your host, Travis Holmes.
Do not ever come into money. You could take that several different ways. You know what? I forgot to do something here. So give me 1 sec. We'll do this in real time. I forgot to put a different background on the podcast here. So if you're listening to us or watching us or anything like that, give me 1 sec. The magic and miracle of mystery this. Let's find something that looks cool. Let's find that. Well, I think out all this stuff in my head. What do you want? You want that one? No. Let's do this one. How does that look? Have we used that one before? I don't know, because it's not loading. I wish it would load right now. That'd be my best friend. You'd be my best friend if you load right now. Fuck it. I know. Yes, I'd like to replace that. So now the background's a little bit different. So there you go. I hate the logo on the bottom, so let's fix that. Doing it in real time here, folks. Fix that a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. And what's the other one? This screen right here? I did that one. Now I got to do this one. All right. Good enough. Good enough. What do they say, for government work or something like that? I'm getting used to these headphones. Yeah, don't ever come into money. And if you have money, or you're coming into money, or you're getting like a settlement, or you're getting, you sold something and you got a little bit of coin in your pocket, don't say it out loud in your house. You know why? Because every intimate object, is it intimate? Inanimate object. I'll figure that one out here in a little bit. Every inanimate object goes, ooh, our owner has money. Now's our chance to get updated, to get repaired, to get something like that. And everything happened this week. Everything happened this week, and I was like going, God damn it, can we just get through a small cycle till we can get ahead of ourselves and get on top of things? And I'll dive into that a little bit more as the show progresses. Welcome to This Is 50. This is my therapy. This is my mental health show. I do this strictly for me. It came to be when I turned 50, or coming up on turning 50, I noticed that the world looked at me and did a little bit different, treated me a little bit different, turning 50 years old. And I was like going, no, I don't want this responsibility. So to get all this out, to get all this, the thoughts and everything out of my head, because my wife's not 50 yet. Been married for 12 years next month. And so this is my therapy show. I do this strictly for me. I hope it benefits someone out there that's listening to this show, or just has a good time. If you want some entertainment for a little bit, by all means. I feel bad. There's a house where, in our small little community here, small little town, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a small little town called Marshville. And it's a very rural town. It's chicken houses. It's farmland. It's like our property here. We have 22 some odd acres. It's horses, yada, yada, yada. So we have like a city hall. There's no downtown, quote unquote, downtown Marshville. But the houses surrounding, 2-block radius of downtown are historical. They're old, but they're well kept. Someone owns them enough to where they, hey, paint the trim, make sure the lawn's mowed, yada, yada, yada. And there's a couple rental properties down there, but when they get out of hand, they boot those people out and they bring someone else in who's going to take care of the community that is downtown Marshville. So probably about 4 or 5 years ago, as I'm driving into Marshville, the main road that goes into Marshville, there's 4 classic homes, antique homes or whatever on either side of the road going up to the main intersection there. One of the houses, like I said, they'll boot a renter out and they'll bring a new renter in. This new renter came in, had a burgundy Nissan Maxima with, hear me out, with rims on them. Rims that did not come with the vehicle. You see where I'm going with this. And I'm like, oh, wow, that's nice. That's a nice car. I mean, it was clean, always clean, everything. And I would drive into Marshville to get my prescriptions and to go to pick up anything I need small at Food Line and stuff, go get a beer run or something like that. And I always pass by this house. This house is a small little Cape Cod looking house, and it's got this burgundy Maxima, Nissan Maxima out there with like 20-inch rims on it. You know what 20-inch rims are. Come on, kids. Get with the program if you don't know what it is. And as time progressed over the last 4 years, I noticed like one time I drove by, I don't know, after a year of seeing it, like the small back window was knocked out. Like someone broke it out. I was like, oh man, that sucks. That's a nice car. And now the back window is busted out. So I had like a plastic bag on it forever. Next time I see it, it's got a crash in the front headlights all smashed in. I'm like, oh man, are you going to get that fixed? No, left it. Drove by it again. Taillights busted out. Another year later, 3 months go by, 4 months go by. It progressively was getting worse every time I drove by this house, this little Cape Cod house, and this, brand new, at the time, I guess, burgundy Nissan Maxima. And every time I would go by, not every day, not every week, maybe once every other month, I'd go into town and do something like that. And I'd see the car. I'm like, oh, something's wrong. There's a dent here. There's a crash there. It progressively got worse. It reminded me of what was the Street Fighter game where you're beating on the Lexus car in the video game to make it worse and worse and worse. You're trying to beat it up. I forget what game it is, but you're punching it. Mortal Kombat or one of those games. You're punching it and punching it and punching it. And I was like, oh man, this car is getting worse every time I drive by. Well, the other day was the end of the run for this car. Hood was up, parts were all pulled out, spark plug wires everywhere. Like they basically go, it ain't running. What do? I don't know, pull things out and put things in, see if you can get it running again. And I was just like, man, just the progression externally, we don't know what goes on in that house, but just progressively externally watching this car go through the trials and tribulations that is the owner of this house and all that. I just, one of those things. My wife goes, you notice that kind of stuff? Babe, I notice stuff all the time. Driving around. Hey, that wasn't there before. Hey, that was there before. And, so on and so forth and so on and so forth. So welcome to This is 50. We are live right now. We are on our YouTube channel. And this is just a little, we're trying to get this a little bit more frequent as far as being live. We appreciate you guys listening to us and watching us. Once the show is completely done, feel free to go back and watch it. We will have an actual video with, sound and all. Well, I mean, not sound, like you can't hear me. But there's an actual video once we're done with the show that's all edited and stuff. Nice little package, so you can watch that too as well. If you're watching this on the YouTube channel right now, as you can see, I keep picking my nose. I've got a new shirt on. Do you know what Sweetwater is? Sweetwater, I've mentioned them before. If you are a person of audio, in a band, anything lighting, anything musically, anything video, the whole entire electronic media, if you're any part of that, may I recommend Sweetwater. Now, they're I don't want to say they're a sponsor of the show, but they have supported me as far as getting everything that I need for the show, make sure I get the right thing. And if it's not right, I'm like, oh, hey, Alex, this is not right, and send it back. And they're like, no problem. So I've got brand new headphones on that I was looking for, and you're like going, well, what's this? Just go get headphones. No, you don't understand. Headphones are very important when you do 4 different podcasts throughout the week. They need to be comfortable. They need to be clear. They need to be, like, I can tell that I didn't realize how close I was to the microphone before because of my old headphones. I felt like I had to be right on the microphone like this, and you can hear me saliva and stuff in my mouth. But no, now, because everything's set up. Let me give you an example. This is my old set of headphones that you might have heard on past shows. This is just opening them up. It's like grandma's rocking chair. They were great headphones that I've had them for like 5 years, but they're old. This is a one-piece headset and stuff. And I told the guy, my representative, and let me get back to Alex here in just 1 second. I told my representative, hey man, when I order these headphones, hey, can you throw me some swag in there? Come on, man. I've spent God knows how many hundreds of dollars with you. You owe me, you know. Not that they owe me or anything, but it's just kind of nice. And he threw this shirt in here. If you're watching this on YouTube, I said, you know, give me something cool. And he must have picked out I don't want to say it's the worst looking shirt. It's not gay. It's not a rainbow flag or anything. It says Sweetwater, and it's like done in like 80s cartoon. I don't know. It's got like red, orange, yellow, and blue stripes on it. Not a gay shirt. So I want to get that perfectly clear. And I don't want to say not that there's anything wrong with it, but just let you know, this is not a gay shirt. Sweetwater, when I place my order, anytime I place an order, the representative at the time will physically call me. Hey, Mr. Holmes, I saw you bought this thing. Is there anything you have any questions about or anything? No, I'm good. I'm pretty sure this is what I got. Or reverse of that, call them up. I'm like, hey, I'm looking for, like I said, like these headphones. They walk me through it and they get everything, and they are on point. So if you're out there in the business and media source, Sweetwater, great place, great prices. They're even comparable to like Amazon and stuff, but that's all they do, you know. So trying to figure out how I'm going to get from point A to point B during this show. My wife and I had a small discussion, and we'll take a quick little break here. My wife and I had a small little discussion, which I was like going, one of those, you see? I don't understand this. Do you see? So I'll dive into the conversation, the discussion that we had. So stick around. I'll be right back. My knee's getting better. It's getting a lot better, actually. What light is... Anyways, you get a little wash on it. My knee's getting actually a lot better. For the longest time, I couldn't lay in bed without some kind of like lidocaine patch or is it lidocaine or lidocaine? I put them both on just in case. And it's my right knee, and if you've listened to this show for any length of time, I have always had problems with my knee from playing basketball, semi-pro basketball, and so on and so forth. So I'm still running, run, jog, run, walk, run, jog, jog, run, run, walk, still 4 miles every day. What's happening is the joint pinches a little bit, and I can feel the tendons like hurt and stuff. So I have to make sure I have like a pillow under my leg. Anyways, fast forward to recently, I've been using that Voltaren. Works great. Not a sponsor. We'd love for you to be a sponsor, but Voltaren works really, really good on my knee. My wife goes, be careful. It is somewhat of a, what did she call it? An enesis? Gary Sinise, something where she's like, you have to be careful because it absorbs in your skin, and kind of, if you do it too much, it's like, it'll mess up your liver, and, you want your kidneys and all that stuff. But, and they can prove me wrong, just reach out to me at any time. I feel like the tendons are starting to heal and the pain is slowly going away. So working through the pain, working through all that stuff. The pain that I'm had to deal with the other day is the sound that comes out of my dad's room. Now, this month will be 4 years that my mom passed away. When my mom passed away, my dad had nowhere to go. No plans, no future saves, nothing. So we said, hey, you can live with us. You can have that side of the house. And so he does. He has a small little bedroom. He's on his own over there, for the most part. But more and more, I'm realizing he's losing his hearing. And he's 70. I forget how old he is now. I'm 78, 79. Whatever I said last year at this time, he's a year older. And he sits. I've got a 32-inch monitor right here in the studio. Once the camera flips and stuff, you'll see it. And he's about this close to it. And he's got speakers and stuff, and it's, blaring loud. And it's his door's wide open, which is fine. So, like, my wife and I get up, to do things. We go out in the kitchen, which is the common area, and his bedroom's right off the kitchen area. And we're sitting there talking. Hey, what do you want to do today? What's on the list of things that we need to get done and all this. And, there's car chases. God damn it, Jones, all this stuff coming out of his bedroom. So I always, when I look at my wife and she's like going, well, we need to do this. And I go, yeah, we sure do. And she's like, why do you, let him be. And I go, babe, it's fucking loud. She's like, it upsets me that loudness bothers you. And I go, but you don't understand. He's my dad, right? I'm his son. So growing up in the I was born in 73. So through the 70s and 80s, when I got my own stereo system, I pumped the music up, and my dad would sling that door open. Turn that shit down. Turn that down. Just literally finger pointing, throwing the breakers in my bedroom, or not in my bedroom. I don't have the panel box in my bedroom, but would throw the breakers to my bedroom all the time. I said, turn it down, constantly, just as mean and rude and as ugly as a man can be to yell at his child to turn that shit down. That's what I got all the time. Well, you shouldn't have it up all the time. Half the times, I don't even know if he's home. No, because I got the music too loud. So for me to get upset, it's not the fact that it's loud. It's the fact that he's doing the exact same thing, doesn't realize it, as I was a kid, not realizing it, that it's too fucking loud for the rest of the house. Now, the reason why I tell you this is to tell you this as well. In the same sense, we have 3 Roombas in the house. Oh, Paul, or 3 Roombas. Believe me, they're on their death's door right now. One of them, it does that click-clunk, click-clunk, click-clunk. Yeah, threw that one away. Got tired of fixing that one. Got a brand new one. I say brand new one. It's probably about 3 years old. It's running good. It hates black carpets for whatever reason. I don't know if it's racist or not. It just won't go over black carpets. The sensors think it's a shadow box, like it's going to a small tunnel or something. It goes, move Roomba to a safer environment. Oh my God, Roomba, really? What's wrong with the black carpet? I don't know, man. I just don't want to go in there. So, and then we have this one. It's a gray and black one. And it's good all the way around. But the problem is the little gears, if you ever opened a Roomba up and looked inside the actual gears that run around, there's little metal posts, and one of the metal posts were gone. So I basically broke off a toothpick or a dowel or whatever you want to fucking call it, hot glued it in there or super glued it in there, put the gear back on it, closed the whole entire thing up. And so now when it runs, it is loud. It's, she's like, in the same day that she said something about my dad having the stereo loud, the Roomba starts, the Roombas are on a timer, so they start. Doo-doo-doo-doo, beep, beep, gets off the charger, beep, beep. If you have a Roomba, this is like common practice. Beep, 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 backs up and then goes. It literally sounds like gears grinding together. And as it moves into the kitchen area, my wife goes, Jesus Christ, that thing is loud. What? Wait a minute. Hold on a minute. You got the Rockford Files coming out of the back bedroom of my dad's room with guns a-blazing and fire trucks and motorcycles jumping. It's way too early to have motorcycle movies and chases during the during the coffee hour in the morning. But yet the Roomba that's cleaning the house and doing something, that's it's too loud for you? I just didn't, it didn't get to me. I don't know. I didn't understand. I said, okay, no problem. So I'm like, I will dedicate this. Actually, what I said was, not only will I dedicate this to, a part of the house that, we're not in, I usually run these, babe, when you're not home. So you never really hear these sounds. I do. I run them, I start them, and then I leave the house or go outside and do something, and they run all day long and they fight each other. So no one is in the house. My dad can't hear him because he's got fucking World War III going on in his bedroom. We're getting ready to go on our trip. We're going to Europe. March 10th, we're going. And one of the things that we needed to do before we left, is get my wife's brakes fixed on her car. Not fixed, just redone. Or there was nothing wrong with them. And let me explain this story to you. Come in close, because it's pretty interesting. So a few weeks back, took my wife's car to the dealership, and they brought me to the back, and they're, look at, these are bad. The brake pads they're at 5 millimeter. Oh, really, 5? And I'm like going, I don't know what that means. Well, we have to machine the rotors and replace the pads, and each axle is going to be about, $1,300. $1,300? Well, sir, it's an Audi, and you want to get Audi parts, you want to make sure everything's perfectly fine and clear and all that. I said, okay. So there's a really, really good mechanic in our area. And I say mechanic, I mean, he's got like 10 bay doors. He's always busy. And he is, I don't want to say religious, but there's there's a church element to him. And people out there are listening to me, you know exactly what I'm talking. There's a church element in as far as the way he talks to you. And he always, every time we go in there, I bought tires from him several times. He's always been, very appreciative, listens to you, treats you with the utmost respect. No problem. Cars come back. No, they don't tack on anything. Oh, the flictor valve is bad. What the fuck is a flictor valve? I don't know, but it needs to be replaced. That type deal. So I said, babe, I'm not paying $1,300 for your brakes when the car is 2017. It's an Audi Q5. So let me go up and see how much, our buddy will charge. So the last time I was in there getting the tires for the Audi, he said, when you're ready for brakes, just bring it in and let me know. So we brought it in, and I go up to the desk, and my wife says I'm always judgmental. I'm very judgmental of people until I get to know them or prove me different. I hate to say that. And people go, oh, well, that's racist. No. That's not racist. I'm judgmental. I judge everyone the same, whether you're white, black, Spanish, alien, whatever you are. Dog, cat, doesn't matter. I'm very judgmental. Now, all my friends listening to the show, don't go around Trav. Yeah, he'll fucking judge you out the door. It's all right. People judge me all the time. I don't care. So I go in there, and the guy who runs the business, the church-going guy, he's not there. Well, he's there, but he's dealing with someone else. He's got this Spanish guy behind the counter, 5'2", and I go, oh, man, I've never dealt with this guy before. I don't know what's going to happen. This is a very, big purchase for me, or a big, repair that needs to be done. I want to make sure it's done the right way and the right, I don't want to get tacked on, all these other additional charges and stuff. So I go up to him, and he must be somewhat new. Like, he might have been there for maybe, I'm going to say a couple months, but he's still learning the ropes, because the owner was like going, hey, how do I say this? I'm trying to, I'm going to do this in my head. So I said to him, hey, you guys said for me to bring the car in when I was ready for brakes. I'm ready for brakes. And he leans over to me, the guy who owns the shop, the religious guy, goes, hey, great to see you again. Yeah. We were talking about brakes and stuff. He goes, what is that, 17? I go, yeah. He goes, does it have the digital sensors on? I go, I don't know. He goes, I don't think so either. And he was telling the guy, he's like, just put him in for brakes and schedule him and stuff. He was kind of coaching him along. And I got everything scheduled. I'll bring it in Monday, drop it off, and then they'll have it later on that afternoon. They'll give me a quote before they do anything. So I get the quote. My wife and I are shopping. Well, that's always a treat. My wife and I, grocery shopping. She'll buy everything in the goddamn building if I let her. So I get a quote from the guy, and I'll tell you exactly what happened when we come back. It was very surprising what happened. So stick around. I'll be right back. You ever shopped at Ollie's before? Maybe, do you guys have an Ollie's where you're at? Ollie's is one of those clearance warehouse places. At one time, they used to have like rejected Home Depot stuff all the time at Ollie's. But now it's just like half-expired soup, clothes that are irregular, that type of stuff. The Ollie's out by us, they got some weird stuff. One of the things they have at Ollie's, and this is old man. I mean, this is, you want to talk about being 53 years old. There's a pack of, I can't believe I'm saying this. There's a pack of cherry hard candies in a bag, like a 4-ounce bag. It's like $1.49 or something like that. And they got like the dusting powder on them to keep them from sticking to each other. But once you pop those in your mouth, man, they're good. Oh, man. Like a deep cherry, not like a cough syrup cherry. And I hate anything like fruit punch. I hate all that, like Gatorades that are red. I'm trying to muscle down the was it Powerade that I got that's red because they didn't have any other flavors with the zero sugars and stuff. I just can't stomach red fruit punch and stuff. But these little cherry things, these little cherry candies, about the size of a, I don't know, candy corn. You know what candy corn is, right? About the size of like that. Holy shit. But I'll tell you what, if you got a bridge or dentures or anything like that, be careful because they're hard. They're hard candy. They'll snap a tooth. That's what they should say. Be careful, old people. But they're good. They're real good. They're like $1.49. So anytime I go to Ollie's and stuff, I'll grab a couple bags of those and we kind of snack on them. They're good. Like 3 of them is like 60 calories. That's how good they are. No, really. So my wife and I are shopping at Ollie's and about town. We're running around town and stuff, doing stuff together, which I love doing. I don't get to see her too much. Like even on the weekends, I with the horses and stuff, which is fine by me. She's got her own thing going on. I got my own thing going on. And then we kind of like merge on Sunday and go, okay, we're together on Sunday and watch TV and whatnot. Oh, she's going to be 46 tomorrow, by the way. Happy birthday. Throw that in there. So as we're shopping, I get a call and I'm like, hold on, babe. Hold on. And she's all excited. She doesn't get out much as far as like shopping. And she's like, oh, look at all these different flavors and stuff. I'm like, going, stay away from the fruit punch. And I'm, hello? On Mr. Holmes. Yes. And my wife's like talking to me. Hey, look at, babe, 1 second. It's the brake guys. They're giving me a quote on the brakes for your car. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. She's grabbing stuff and throwing it in the cart, and she's all dancing around like a little pixie girl. And oh my God, this is so cool. He goes, Mr. Holmes, for the brake pads and the rotors and the sensors, the sensor comes with the brake pads and stuff. I got your final thing here. Now you don't have to do the rotors. You can just do the pads. Where's my accent go? You can do the rotors with that, but you can do the pads. But the rotors are because of the sensor and stuff. It comes with it, and all these stuff. I can give you prices on both, just the pads, and the rotors and the pads. Now, Mr. Holmes, keep in mind, they are 5 millimeters left. They still have about 40% of life on it. I said, look, man. I said, just go ahead and fix them. You've got them up. The tires are off. Crossing my fingers, not $1,300 to have this front axle done. Tell me, flat out, and I'll go from there. Give me the price with the rotors, price without the rotors, just the pads, and let me know. Okay, sir, I'll give you with the rotors. With the rotors and the sensors that come with it, with parts and labor and the pads and everything, that'll be $407. I go, is that per wheel or for the whole axle? No, sir, that's for the whole axle. I said, okay. And then he said, what, with the pads? I said, hold on. And I forget his name. It's like Christian or something like that. I said, hold on, Christian. Babe, hey, look at these colors over here. Focus. Yes. $407 to have your brakes and rotors and everything done. Brand new rotors, brand new everything. Nothing's being machined. They're taking everything off that's old, putting everything back on that's new. You want to do it? How much? $407. How much does the dealership want? $1,300. Yeah. Fuck yeah, she says. Go ahead and do it. All right. Yeah, Christian, go ahead and do it, man. Okay, sir, we can have it done in like a couple hours. I said, all right, fine, no problem. We'll pick it up in the morning. Now, I don't know the major difference outside of being, gasoline, Jaguar gasoline with Jaguar cars. You can only use, that's a myth that everyone thinks of. That they have to have the actual parts. Well, it voids the warranty. Well, guess what? It's a 2017 warranty voided already. It's past due. Now they, of course, guarantee parts and labor for 1 year and blah, 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 blah. We get the car. I go up to him. I pick up the car the next day. And he's there. Christian's there. I said, hey, man, appreciate your help, man. I really do. Oh, no problem, sir. No problem. And I said, you guys have always taken care of me. I appreciate it. He goes, I bought tires from me. He was like, yes, sir. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. Good to hear. Thank you very much. You have a good day, blessed day, and so on and so forth. So, get the car home. I drove it. My dad drove me up there. Jesus Christ. That's a story in itself. So I pull out of the parking lot, floor it. Turbo kicks in. Hit the brakes. Not the skid or anything. Just hit the brakes. I wanted to see if there was any vibration. Any vibrating. Any kind of squeaking or anything like that. Because the dealership guy says, well, you can't just rotor or, run the rotors and machine them and stuff. They've got to be done, precision and, to the X millimeter, 0.01, 0.01. And you can't just take this to anyone because they won't, machine the rotors and everything will be bad and stuff. No, these guys are like going, I said, why? You can see I'm getting excited. I asked the guy, you're putting new rotors on when he was giving me the price? He goes, yes. I said, why don't you guys machine them? He goes, the Spanish guy, and I'm going to eliminate the accent because he actually said, and I trust him 100%. He goes, the way that German cars are made, the rotors and the brakes are supposed to dissipate at the same rate together. So if I was to put new brakes on there, new brake pads, it would still be a smaller rotor for the brake pad to engage. So we put on brand new rotors that are, the thickness, of where they should be. I said, well, hot damn. Did I learn something new today or what? So I'll go back to this guy again because something else popped up. I swear to God, do not let anyone know in the house, inanimate objects in the house know that you've either got money coming in or you got too much money sitting in your bank account or something like that, because they all get together. They talk to each other through the wires, through the walls, through the wires, through the internet. And they're like going, hey, you guys need repairs? Do you guys need fixing or anything like that? Yeah. Well, they got this kind of money just sitting in the bank account, not doing anything. And I'll discuss what happened there here in a little bit. I will. I'll tell you what happened. Because I'm like going, God damn. I understand when people go, can I catch a fucking break? And we're at that point right now. I understand that. We haven't been in that situation in a very, very, very long time. Well, actually, I take that back. When we had rental property, we just couldn't fucking catch a break. As soon as you get on top of the world, nope, water heater needs to be replaced. Don't say that. Knock on wood. What's next? Oh, the roof needs to be replaced. God damn it. That's 2 roofs in 2 years. It's just a pain in the ass. So I saw that Robert Duvall passed away. 95, I think. I might be getting that wrong, but 95. Hey, he did his job. He did exactly what he was supposed to do on this planet. Did his job. Did it well. Made some great movies. R.I.P. Who else passed away? Someone else passed away, and I was like going, all right, did his job, all that stuff. And you see them, because news reports, on your Facebook page as you're scrolling. By the way, we're on Facebook, too. This is 50 over on Facebook, and I post some stuff that we talk about here on the show just to prove that I'm not insane. This actually stuff happens, so I'll post some stuff over on the This is 50. So make sure you join us over there on This is 50 on our Facebook page. I saw a post. Do you remember Keb Bazinet? He was on the show a while back talking about where he died and then came back to life. So, and I've known Keb since, we were in elementary school together, if not before that, I think daycare together. The only post I saw the other day, today's Friday. We broadcast every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yesterday, I saw Keb post on his Facebook page, because I'm a friend with him. And so, you scroll through and you go, oh, there's my friend, Louise, there's my friend Tommy, that, so on and so forth. Keb comes up and goes, R.I.P. Reverend Jackson. I said, okay. Didn't hear about it. Now, first thing in the morning when I wake up, 7:30 in the morning, roll over. I always say, all right, babe, let's see what's going on in the world today. What do we miss overnight? And she laughs and she gets her phone and I scroll. And I saw Keb's post. I'm like, oh, Reverend Jesse Jackson, R.I.P. from Keb. So I'm scrolling. I must have scrolled for what felt like 10 to 15 minutes. I didn't see one news outlet. I didn't see anyone else posting it. I didn't see anything. And so I got to thinking to myself, well, why am I not seeing Reverend Jesse Jackson? He's passed away. So I physically had to search, Jesse Jackson passed away. And they said, sure enough, there it is, the 17th. I'm like, oh, man, he passed away. After I searched, I still did not get any notifications on my feed. And you're like going, well, Travis, it's because you like all those MAGA posts. You like all those ICE posts. You like all those other... What the fuck are you talking about? Is Facebook calling me out? Saying that I did not care if Jesse Jackson passed away? Because it almost took literally a 24-hour news cycle before I saw anything on my Facebook that said from a news outlet. From CNN or from, whatever... CBS or, whatever news feed, they kind of shove those articles in there as you're going through them. I did not see anything from anyone other than Keb that said R.I.P. Reverend Jesse Jackson and so on and so forth. So I was like going, what does Facebook think about me thinking that I did not care about the death of this man? So I kind of sat back and thought about it. I go, well, did I actually like that post about the macaroni salad? Did I like that post about the thing? Did I like the post? I was, sitting there going, judging myself as far as why does Facebook think I don't care about this man passing away? I care about anyone who passes away, who's a figurehead of any sort. Because you're like going, oh, did you hear about what's his name passing away? No, I didn't. All right, well, here you go. Did you hear about? Yeah, I did, man. Oh, that sucks. That really, really sucks. So I didn't get anything for almost 24 hours, if not 48 hours. I didn't get anything. And then finally it started coming up on my feed. I was like, maybe I'm last in line to know anything about that. My wife, as I'm scrolling through the Facebook feeds and stuff, what's going on in the world today? Put the phone down, big stretch, big yawn, coffee and everything. And as we're laying in bed, I always ask her. Every morning I always ask her, unless I've got a big day booked with editing and doing stuff like that. But I do always ask, is there anything you need me to do today? Is there anything you can think of that I need to do to, help with the household? I know I've got my stuff that I have to do for the household, but is there anything that I can help you with as far as, getting things ready? Because she's go all the time. If it's not work, it's from the horses, and if it's not horses, it's work, and back and forth. So I try to calm that slack, pick up the slack, not the slack, but you know what I mean. Try to bring everything together and everything, household, peaceful household. She goes, would you mind washing the load of in the hamper in the bathroom? The dirty clothes. Do you mind? Just don't do the whites, babe. You cannot do whites. I said, well, Jesse Jackson and stuff like that. You cannot clean whites. I said, no problem. I'll do that. So I put all the towels together, do a load like that, and do all the jeans together and all the stuff that's the same material, heavy duty, light, and all that stuff. And she said to me, now, one of those days that we went shopping at Ollie's, we found Tide Pods. She always makes fun of the grunk. Tide Pods. And she bought a couple bags of them. I've never used Tide Pods in my life. I always think that they're like a gimmick or whatever. I've always used just the liquid. Now they've got them. They got smart and they put them the funnel or the disperser at the bottom of the thing, so you just go whoosh, and then you dump it in the holder there, the reservoir, and then you close it and hit go. I've always used that. Now that we've done or have been using Tide Pods for the last, couple weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, she's like, I really like the way it cleans my clothes. I really like the smell. I really like it. It does a good job. I said, okay, but we still have half a gallon of the liquid stuff on the shelf. I said, can I use that? She's like, babe, just use the Tide Pods, please. And I go, okay. But I got a half gallon left. I want to get rid of the half gallon of the liquid Tide that we have on the counter still. Fine, use it. I'm like, no, babe, I'm sorry. This is my grief. This is my thing. I'll use it on my clothes. You asked me to wash your clothes in the laundry. I will obey your command. I'll use the Tide Pods. And she's like, and when you get the horse stuff, all my horse clothes and stuff in there, use two. Going, okay, no problem. But I was like, but that's just the way I'm like, let's use the first one up completely before we start diving into the new stuff. But I know she's got her thing. She's got her, her work clothes and her horse clothes, and they all have to be clean and stuff like that. My clothes, pound them on a rock and they'll be fine for me. You know what I mean? So, where am I at on time? Always asking what time it is. What time is it? Oh, all right. Well, I got a little bit more to talk about. Actually, I'll dive into it. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. I'll tell you as far as what happened next, as far as something breaking in the house, and just can't get ahead sometimes. So stick around. I'll dive into that when we come back. I thought I was going crazy the other day, and I still do a little bit today. I kept hearing voices. And when I say hearing voices, like, I would stop and go, huh? Huh? Hello? Is anyone, are you there? My dad was sitting, like just now I heard something. Maybe someone answering me. I don't know. What do they call it? EPMs? Electronic paranormal murmurs or something? I don't know. And I realized what was happening is we have some barn cats that are on the property. And they are now coming of age. So I was on the back porch with my dad. I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He's out there, doing his daily beer. Drinks I think usually 2. Chug, 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 chug. And I got a text coming in. And I could have sworn I heard the neighbor's kids fighting. No, don't do that. No, you do that. No, you do that. On their side of the property. And I go, Dad, do you hear that? Huh? No, he can't because he's 2 inches from his phone screen with TikTok blaring fucking loud as hell. Huh? Who are you? Go back to sleep, Dad. Where's my beer? And I kind of stopped and listened. Nothing. As I'm walking through the house, I hear voices. I know. I always feel like somebody's watching me. And come to find out, I figured out the root of it. The barn cats are now getting of age, and they're either fighting with the neighbor's cats, who are homebodies, because we haven't fixed our cats. So we have 2 males and a female. Or they're fighting with the other neighbor's cats, where they let all their cats go feral. So it's kind of like in the middle of the night, or like as the sun's going down and they're out there hunting and stuff. And I know everyone's looking at me on the video going, Jesus Christ, pull your shit together. But I kept hearing, I was like, oh. And what's happening now is it's happening at 3 o'clock in the morning. Get up, kill them, kill everyone in the house. No, not those kind of voices from the movies. Kill them all. No, it's the cats outside fighting. And my wife's like going, did you hear that? Are you okay, babe? Yeah, I'm fine. Just someone wanted me to kill everyone in the house. You sure that's not the cats? Well, it could be either one. I don't know. I don't speak their language. But they got to go. The barn cats got to go. Sorry, we're not fixing them. An appointment to get them in to be fixed at the whatever low-cost place is like all the way in like April. That's our first appointment. Oh, really? My cat will be pregnant and shoot out a couple kittens before then. Cats are going to go. And I will. Oh, you're not. Yes, I will. Cage them up, drive them somewhere, and drop them all. Sorry. I will. They're not our cats. They were rogue cats when they came over here. We just fed them. Am I going to get in trouble? I shouldn't. They're not mine. They're not registered. They're just neighborhood cats, and they just live on our porch. They do all that stuff. Talking to me in my sleep. Watched a movie the other day, Brandon Fraser. I know I'll get to the thing here in just one sec. Bear with me. I have to get these small little topics out of the way, and I'll dive into what happened with losing money. They know. Everything knows. All inanimate, all things in your house know that when you got money. Sitting around, not doing anything. I watched a movie the other day with, that's my new thing. On Hulu, there's always these like third string movies that didn't really do good in the box office, but they're pretty damn good. I've been watching like one a month for the last like 2 or 3 months. And you'd be surprised. You click on it and you're like going, I didn't know this movie was good. Well, I didn't know this movie was good, but I didn't know this movie was out, and I didn't realize how good this movie was. And there's a movie out there where it's Brendan Fraser, and it's called The Rental Family. I don't know if you've seen it before. Let me explain it to you. The concept of the movie If you've never seen The Whale with Brendan Fraser, wow. Phenomenal job. Phenomenal job. If you haven't seen it, you're going to bawl your eyes out like a little pussy that I was. But it's a really, really good story. Not a whole lot of action, but the storyline is very, very good. This is the same way, and I think this was one that he did after he did The Whale. It's called Rental Family, and I did not know how well Brendan Fraser could speak Japanese. Now, there is a lot of reading in this movie because the whole entire movie takes place in Japan. And what it is, and I'll break it down real quick for you, is Brendan Fraser used to be an actor here in the United States. Or his character used to be an actor here in the United States. Did a toothpaste commercial, as actors do here in the United States. They go overseas, they endorse a product, and then they become really, really famous over there. So they brought Brendan Fraser, his character, over to Japan, and he was getting jobs here and there, and the job market dried up. So he started working for this company called Rental Families. And what they do in Japan, which is really, really weird, is, for example, if you needed a date somewhere, this person would, Brendan Fraser or whoever, would pretend to be your boyfriend. And there would be a backstory, and he would have to act. He would physically have to act in a real-life situation to make the family members and everyone around him, I'm not going to think it's around here, around the person who bought him, make it believable. And there's a lot of dialogue in Japanese. And Brendan Fraser, you would never knew or never known that he did not know Japanese. Or maybe he does. I don't know what he does in his pastime. Maybe he's a fucking, Shogun ninja or something like that. And there's a lot of English back and forth. The Japanese people know English, and, he knows Japanese and back and forth. And the essential of the movie is, he gets hired to be this girl's dad, who the dad is out of the scene, and he's like, I'm your father. And the girl's like, 6, 7 years old, or 5, 6 years old. You are? Yes. Where you been? I've been in the United States. I've been working. Now I'm back. And then the contract runs up, and he can't be the girl's father anymore. And he was like, there's a connection there. There's a connection there. It is so well. It's a sleeper type movie. A lot of dialogue, a lot of everything in it. But the whole entire storyline and this whole unique atmosphere as far as renting people to be like for prime example, someone died in Japan. They would hire all these actors to go to the funeral if the guy who died did not have any family or friends, just to show up and say, he was respectable, Dome arigato, Mr. Roboto, and all that stuff. And they haul ass and grab, the free bar and stuff. But they would hire these people to portray family members that were missing in people's lives. Interesting story. Interesting. I'm sure it is, a true life thing that they do that in Japan because they're a little weird over there. With the whole dropping of the bombs, they have, what else are they going to do? But it was interesting, but Brendan Fraser knocked it out of the park. He's going to come back. He's going to do something. He's got to lose a little bit of weight. Don't we all, running 4 miles a day type stuff. He's got to lose a little bit more weight. He's not going to be the main character that he used to be back in the 80s and stuff like that, but he will be, I swear to God, a force to be reckoned with. They said John Travolta, his comeback movie was Pulp Fiction. What has he done since then? Bunch of crap. Crap. Earth AD or whatever it is? Fuck that. L. Ron Hubbard. Where am I at? All right. I'll talk about it. I'll take a quick little break, come back, and I'll tell you what happened. There I was like going, God, Jesus Christ, can I catch a break? Can I fucking catch a break? Please. And I worry more about my wife about this than me. But it just kind of, So I'll dive into it when we come back. So stick around. I'll be right back. I would like to thank Andy. And I knew I was going to say it. God damn it. Don't say pussy, say vagina. Don't say pussy, say vagina. You get on stage, fucking cunts. I'd like to thank Alex from Sweetwater for helping me out get these brand new headphones. They're really good. If you'd like some, I'll put some in the borrow down there when you're watching this on the YouTube video. You can see all the credits and stuff, and I'll put these in there. They're nice. They've made me change how I approach the microphone a little bit. They're solid. They sound good, and I appreciate him sending me this not gay Sweetwater t-shirt. So if you have any musical stuff and audio stuff or whatever you need, go to Sweetwater and check them out. Tell them I sent you. They'll be like, who? So I get a call. Here we go. So I get a call around 7:45 at night from my wife, and she says there's a warning light on the dashboard of the Audi. She says my car, but so you guys know, of the Audi Q5. I'm like, oh my God, what is it? I thought it was like a low tire pressure or sensor like that. She said the coolant reservoir is low. I said, okay, well, that's new. That's odd. Well, what should I do? I said, well, send me a picture of the coolant reservoir so I can see it. Now, for all you gearheads out there, the reservoir is basically kind of a flux back and forth. When the water gets, or the coolant gets hot, it needs somewhere to expand, so it kind of dumps into this cartridge. I know people are going, you don't know nothing, dummy. Travis, you so fucking dumb. But there's a minimum and a maximum. So what happens is, you fill it up when the engine's cool and stuff, it should be sitting at minimum. That means, all the fluids are fine and everything. And as it percolates and stuff, running through the system, if you're going on like a long trip, 200 miles or so, that fluid will expand and go up to the max. This thing, the fluid was about 3.5 inches, if not 4 inches below the minimum line. I said, ooh, that's not good. And I kept thinking in my mind, fucking brake guy. Here I was talking up the brakes guy when he put the brakes on. Did he clip something? Did he cut something? Did he do anything? I don't know. She's like, what should I do? I said, okay, let me explain the heating system and cooling system to you real quick. On your dashboard, there's a needle. That needle should not ever go past line X, whatever it is. Every car is different. Your engine should sit around 210 degrees at any given time with a perfect system running well. I know that part. I said that needle should never go up above that line. If it does, I mean like way over that line, let me know and I'll come get you. She's like, okay. Drives all the way home, halfway home. I'm fine. Okay. She gets home. I pop the hood. I said, leave the car running. I want to see if there's a leak, like if it's squirting out anywhere or whatever. So I look underneath the car. I don't see any leaks or anything. I see, the condensation from the AC. Turn the AC off. I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, let's look at it in the morning. Let's sleep on it. So the next morning, I get up and I look through her glove compartment. And I look at the past oil changes that we have through Audi. We always get it through Audi. Won't do that again. That'll teach you. It's out of warranty. So anyways, I'm looking and every single one of them says, coolant check. Everything's fine. Coolant level's fine. And it's usually about every 6 months that we get it because she doesn't drive that much or anything like that. They just, instead of going every 5,000 miles, we go every 6 months because she just doesn't go anywhere with the whole working from home and stuff. The last one, completely fine. And it was just done in December. So I called up Audi the next morning and said, hey, can you pull up my records and stuff and, this and that? And, oh, yeah, Oh, your service agent is Cal. I'll patch you over to him. And he comes back to Jessica. Hey, it's Jessica. Oh, sorry, Cal's busy. Is there something I can help you with? I said, yeah, it's just a simple question. Can you just pull up my last file as far as what I had done? Oh, yeah, we saw you rotated the tires and did the oil change. They made a note that you needed brakes. Yeah, fuck you guys. $1,300, not getting my brakes done there. And I said, does everything else look all right? I said, what I'm looking for is, did they check the coolant level on the vehicle? She said, according to this right here, they said, yes, it was normal. Everything was fine. I said, okay. I said, it is 3 inches below the fill line on right now. Oh my God, sir. So can I bring it in and top it off? What do you guys do? She's like, well, that's a closed system and that should never, and she was very knowledgeable. I'm not making fun of her or anything like that. She was very, very knowledgeable. Jessica was. Let's schedule you an appointment. Okay, when's the appointment? Let's get you in real quick. Monday. I said, yeah, anytime after 11 because I have to do the horse show on Monday. She's like, horse show? I said, nah, never mind. It's a podcast that I do. Okay, Monday, let's do 11:30. I said, fine. So as I come back in the house, I said, babe, they're going to look at it and see what's going on and see where we're leaking fluid at. Okay, she says, and goes back to work in her office at home. So I come up to the studio, ChatGPT, take me away. Start typing stuff in there. Hey, is this recommended? This and that. I'm losing fluid or whatever, or it's the lower level and all that stuff. And I said, it's 2017. It's got 106,000 miles on it. Yada yada yada. I was just going, and it said to me, ChatGPT said, it is common to lose, coolant based on evaporation, 100,000 miles. You're at that threshold where, this can happen. You might need to fill it up, but on a regular check basis, it should be fine. All that stuff. And I go, well, this is, below 3 inches below the min line. And so, well, look inside the car around the engine and see if you see like pink crystals, because the coolant itself is pink. So as the moisture evaporates, it leaves the pink dye crystals. I don't know. It looks like sugar cubes or something inside or around the car somewhere. And so I said, all right, so I'll go downstairs. I got a flashlight. I'm looking around. I don't see any pink crystals anywhere. No pink crystals. Then I came across a wet spot. Now, being that Audi is a German engineered car, there's a lot more pluses on a vehicle of this nature that makes it different and stand out between all the other cars and vehicles that are out there. There is literally like heat and firewalls underneath the car and in the engine itself. Okay, this is the only way I can explain it. That keeps the engine nice and cool, and but it's not just metal pans and dishes and stuff. There's like firewall material in the vehicle, and I noticed this one little section was wet. So I took a picture of it, got in real close, asked ChatGPT, hey, where's this wetness coming from? Is that from the AC or something? And they said, nope, that's from your water pump and thermostat. That's exactly where it would be. And if you're losing coolant, that's where it's coming from. Very common fix. Lucky you caught it now, and so on and so forth. And I'm like going, God damn it, really? Why didn't anyone see this before? So before I sat there and I started throwing spears in the air, getting mad, I said, oh. ChatGPT said something about, replacing it, and it's a plastic piece, and sometimes it, leaks and swell and crack and weather and stuff. I said, that sounds familiar. Weather. For those of you who don't know, we broadcast just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. We had that huge ice and snowstorm, like back to back, where the temperature did not get above, 32, if not 28 degrees during the day for a couple days straight. And at night, there was a couple days where it was around, -2. Now the car does sit in the garage, but there's no heater in the garage. It's a garage. So I asked it, Chet, is it possible for the cold weather to trigger this leak? Sure enough, spit it out. Said, yep, it's possible for that to happen. All right, and then it gives you the next steps to do. And I said, God damn it. We're trying to go to fucking Europe, people. we're trying to do so. We're trying to get away from paying for, we're getting ready to redo the bathroom while we're gone. X amount of dollars, 5 figures to get the bathroom retiled and everything gutted and redone. So when we come back, everything's nice and clean and stuff. I know, baller, right? Ooh. I said, well, how much is it to do this? Well, if you go through the dealership, it's anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500. God damn it. I said, what about, a really good Spanish guy who took care of me doing my brakes and stuff? How much is he going to charge? Local mechanic. Anywhere from $600 to $1,000. All right. I said, what's my next step? He said the first thing to do is fill up the reservoir to the minimum line on an absolute cold engine. Check. Then what? Run it for a couple days, see if that level drops. And if it does drop, watch how quickly it drops. If it drops after 5 days to the same level where it's 3 or 4 inches below, take the car right in right now and get that water pump thermostat fixed on that car. If it doesn't drop after, basically 3 or 4 or 5 days, just keep an eye on it. And when it does drop, get to a point, financially where you can take it in and get it done. Now, don't get me wrong. We can get it done right now. God damn it, I'll get 2 of them done. I'll put 4 water pumps on that goddamn thing. But if it's something, do I need to worry about it now? Is it a concern? As of now, Chet said no. So I drove the car around all day today, went to Walmart, got my groceries, drove it around, did all that stuff, came back home, looked at the levels, nothing. Nothing's moved, nothing's changed. I don't see any extra moisture down below in that little firewall padding that's down below. I didn't see really a whole lot of moisture. I wasn't really looking, but I didn't see like a big pool, like a half a gallon of water down there, right? Because I just dumped in, 2 or 3 quarts into the reservoir to fill it back up. Nothing. Told my wife. She's like, I know. But I still want it done. But we're good though. We don't have to do it now. Let's go enjoy Europe. We might meet Mr. Audi over there. Maybe he'll hook us up and he'll say, oh yes, please, bring the car to me, or I'll send an email and some Venmo you some money. That water pump should never, whatever. You never know what's going to happen when we're in Europe. So I was like going, God damn it, we just can't get ahead. The brakes are one thing. There's a couple other odds and ends stuff. We're trying to get our taxes done. We have to save for, what is it? The money that we have in the account is from the sale of our one rental property, if I could spit it out here. We have to pay capital gains, so we're putting money aside for that, and I don't want to dig into capital gains to fix this goddamn water pump thing. So yeah, but it's like, don't tell your dishwasher. I won't even say that. Don't tell your appliances that you've got money sitting in the bank, because they'll take a dump on you right away. Did you hear he's got one of this money? He's got this much money and he's spending it all on this? The refrigerator says to the dishwasher. Dishwasher goes, no, I didn't know that. Well, guess what? I need a new Whatever. Takes a dump, leaks all over the floor. Fuck. These are the things that goes on in my mind. This is my mental health show. This is the things I need to talk and get out and stuff. So I thank each and every one of you for listening to me work all this stuff out. I'll talk to you later. Okay. See you. Bye.